Come on. Come on. No! Fell off. Restart. Restart. Dude, you fell. Apparently so. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week I'm excited because for the first time at the channel, we're looking at a game for the Atari Lynx. And that game is Xump The Final Run, with the physical release published by Songbird Productions. Xump comes in a professionally printed box with a manual that's really more of a pamphlet, but Xump is a simple game, so it's all you need. And of course, a game cartridge. Overshadowed by the Game Boy and the Game Gear, I actually like the Lynx a lot. It was really ahead of its time, so I'm thrilled to get into some homebrew for it. Let's take a look. After the splash screens, you get a menu with some really great music. Here you have the option to start a new game, continue with a password, check out the high scores, and a soundtrack section where you can listen to different music tracks from the game. Selecting New Game gets you a start screen, where pressing A gets you into the action. The goal of Xump is simple. Use your little yellow robot friend here to travel over all the blue tiles in the level. The catch being that as you pass over them, they disintegrate. This means that once you pick a path, you need to be certain of it, because in most cases, there's no going back. The levels start off really easy, just giving you a taste of how they handle. And then they ramp up in difficulty and introduce new elements. For instance, as you progress, you'll encounter mines on some tiles. As you pass over them, they'll explode, but leave the tile remaining underneath, meaning that you'll have to pass over those tiles again. Thankfully, you don't have to get off a tile super fast when you're on it, allowing you some time to think and be precise in your movements. But if you stay on there too long, it will eventually disappear and drop you to your death. At the top of the screen are your game stats. From left to right, your number of lives, the level timer, and your score. That's right, a level timer. You're forced to finish these levels within a certain time limit, otherwise you lose a life. For some levels, this isn't a big deal at all, but others, it can be really tricky. The most frustrating can be the levels where there's a lot of precise moves that you have to make. Having to make those moves quickly will often result in walking right off the platforms into the abyss. In my experience, anyways. In fact, I died so many times this way, even when the pressure wasn't actually on. Mostly because I was worried about that timer. Well, that and I have big clumsy thumbs. Thankfully, like every mobile game should, Xump has infinite continues. You can keep plugging away at a level over and over again until you get it right. And, should you need to step away from the game, you can come back later and resume from any level with a 4-character password that you get at the end of every stage. For me, this was vital, since as I started getting to higher levels, I would regularly lose all my lives multiple times just to conquer a single puzzle. The only way you die is by falling, but the causes of that can vary. Once the stages get more complicated, your first step is to figure out the path that needs to be taken to complete it. Often, there's a very specific order in which the tiles need to be broken to be able to get to the end. There can be doubling back, walls that force you to enter and exit platforms in a certain direction, conveyor belts that can sometimes be nasty and throw you off, and even teleporters. For this review, I played through the first 16 levels, and if you include some of the playing I did prior to recording, that took me about 40 minutes to get through. There are dozens of levels in Xump, so for all but the best of puzzlers, you should get some good playtime from this one. And that's Xump for the Atari Lynx. So what did I think? I really liked this one. It's a type of game that's absolutely perfect for mobile gaming, even if there's some debate as to exactly how mobile the Lynx actually is. That said, I was able to play this through an app on my phone called Argon, which I'm also working on a full review for, so look forward to that in the coming weeks. The password system and infinite continues make Xump really approachable, even if you're not great at these type of games, and it gets really easy to just keep hitting continue and try again and again. The graphics are great for the Lynx, and the music is really catchy, especially that title track. When you're done playing, I could see some people hanging out in the soundtrack section for quite a while. Combine all that with the value of lots of potential playtime, and you have a real winner here. I had a lot of fun with it, and it's definitely a recommendation from me. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. As always, I've got my contact info on the screen, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.